Well, it's time to revisit the wiring thing.
Train, 16 coaches long.
Now you see why. Yeah, but if you've been watching for a little bit, you remember that underneath the tunnel area, I used some 20 gauge solid core wire, and I went back, didn't buy enough of it, of course, and now I need to do the rest of the track, and there's 16 more drops that I need to do, and so I only got another 20 feet. Well, first I tried, I'll just let you know this is 20 gauge, 2 strands. I went and found they didn't have any, so I bought this bell wire 24 gauge, and this stuff is too thin. It is too thin. When you smash the tip, it's just too flimsy. Don't trust it. When you smash the tip of this 20 and it gives you something to put up on this ledge, it's just more sturdy. Looks like it'll hold up over time. Well, as I get started into this wiring fiasco, I have 7 new drops to do. So I've cut me some foot-long white 20 gauge, red 20 gauge, and that was the only colors. I would have done white and black, but that was the only colors they had in it. This method I found on YouTube of painting a piece of one of your cars red, and it was one of the only cars I had, but I slopped some red on it. And when I did the track up in here, this is my red side, so I figured I'd put my train on, and just leave it on here, and every time and everywhere it goes, the outside track is red here, but when it comes around and crosses, the red track is actually on the opposite side. Keep you from messing it up. Now, you guys has been doing this for a while. You knew that. I didn't know that. And also, I've no clue on this DCC. Just going to kind of beat my way through it as I go. Well, I think I'll show you just one more time. I'm down to my last connection. I took the, see if I can get this to focus on that. Into that, and I tinned the wire, turned it at a 90 degree. Let's see if I can find a place to set this thing. Right there. Yeah. Just push my wire down through the conduit. Give this thing a little bend so it holds into position. Put it on the side of the track. Right about there, it holds. Need a little flux. And then touch it. And that'll be about the end of that. Connection's good. Connection's good. All of them are made. There's nothing on the track. If I need to sand that or fix that up a little bit, I will. All right, track's completed there now. Let's go to the next item before we get to painting this thing. Okay, she's up and running. There seems to be no issues. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through and clean up some of these areas in here that still have kind of holes in them. Around where my conduits came up, I'm going to go ahead and fill these fill this out. Just little imperfections down in here. I'm gonna fill these little imperfections up. And I actually learned a lesson in right here on this platform for the train station. This isn't very secure. Don't put your elbow on it. I crushed down an area right here, and I'm gonna have to reinforce that back up a little bit and put another cloth on there, probably cover across here to strengthen it up a little bit. But I put my elbow on it and down it went. Install rock castings, make rock castings, color the rocks, install the rocks, color the terrain, and then the ports. What I'm gonna do is this fella here, if you've never seen him, it's Luke Towan, detailed modeling tutorials. This guy's got some, he does really, really good work. And some in particular, this awesome river one here, and this Alaskan wilderness one there, and the other one with the ultimate waterfall. And if you just look through his stuff here, he has a particular way that he does things, and I'm going to follow his basic method of doing this. You know, it's he does it just a little bit different than this. He uses some different materials, and I'm gonna do that. So if you want to look this guy up and look over some of his stuff, he does about everything. And let me see if I can find the one in particular right there. The ultimate waterfall realistic scenery. If you watch that, he covers how to do the water and how to do the terrain. And you know what? I'm going to turn that on for just a second. That, I'm not sure if you look at the diorama itself, the rocks are kind of a different color. I'm thinking may want gray and not so much of that brown.
Rivers and especially waterfalls can often be very intimidating to even a seasoned modeler. However, with some careful planning and reference photos,
looking at his terrain and grass and stuff, I kind of like that.
So let's not waste any more time.
So using his method, he actually does install his rocks in first, but I don't know where I want rocks to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use his method of just colorizing the down. Then I'm going to play with the rock color, and then I'm going to place rocks around, see where I want to go. Then I'll cut it. I'll save a little bit of that wash and clean up around it. But I think I'm going to do it just a little bit different. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but again, this is I'm just experimenting with it. So I think I'm gonna do some of this cleanup stuff, and then I'll get when I get to washing it, I'll shoot a video of it. Well, I mixed up this paint that they had. It looks a little greener, earth undercoat. It says to do 8 ounces of this, which this is only 4. This is 4 ounces when I squirted it out, but you know. Anyway, I put 3/4 of that, and I put about a cup of water here, trying to thin it down a little bit, and checking the color out to see what I'm gonna have. And let's go over here and check it out. Well, one thing I don't want to do is run out. So I don't know how to gauge that. If so, I'll just go buy some more. Well, the color's all set in. It's the next day here now. And I'll show you my idea. I don't know whether it's right or not. But what I did was I made some rocks. About one of each of these molds. Like this giant one here. And there's the rock from it. And it kind of broke right there, but I did put backing on it so that it is holding together. And then those right there are these rocks there. And then that is these, and then the middle one there is these. And depending on how full that you fill it up, you may get pieces that look like this and whatever. What I did was I labeled these numbers 1, 1, 1A, 2, this is 2A, 3, 3A, and then this is a piece of that one, 3. And then when I went around and I found my weak spots, this areas I really just didn't like. There was a spot right here and here that were weak. And you can see what I did was I labeled it the number 2. And if you grab a number 2, this is where I'm gonna put these at. Now, some of them will hold in there. The next one says a 1. And I made a spot for a number 1. I made a spot number 2. And something like that. And you can see I just numbered where I want to put some of the rocks. What it is I'm going to go through all my hydrocal today and make just the rocks that fill these spots that I know. I'm saving this area here because I want it all rock. I don't know what I'm going to do there yet. And what I don't want to do is waste a whole lot of hydrocal on a bunch of these big ones here. I don't even know where I'm going to use this. I may use the 1, and I may not need another one. Actually, it looks to me like I'm going to have much more use for these little rocks. I can use the big mold to just fill partial and make different shapes of rocks. I may try that today. But that, I'm just going to put some, you see I got some labeled in here where I'm going to be putting some of these at number-wise. So it gives me an idea. Because I kept doing them and forgetting where I liked the rock at, and then so I just went ahead and labeled them. I do have this stuff coming that Luke Towan had. It's Sculpt-A-Mold, and it helps you put these rocks in, and it actually helps you mold around them a little bit better. Sculpt-A-Mold didn't come with this kit. I think you're supposed to hydrocal in around them. I'm going to use the Sculpt-A-Mold. That way it allows me to manipulate around the way it looks too.